Right. Thank you so much, Manisha, and very good morning to all the the fellow members who've joined in today for this morning session online, where we connect from different parts of the country. So it's more of a a kind of unity in our diversity. Where I mean, today I think these online portals also happen to be the the easiest and the fastest modes of uniting the whole nation together. So, yes, as Manisha said, I'll keep my session bilingual. That means Hindi English mix. And वही है कि anywhere where you feel कि yes, you could not connect with the message or anything which was, not well received, please, you can stop me then and there. So, I don't know if we are familiar with if we are aware about the session this morning. So, anybody who has an idea about what is the topic of the session this morning? Please don't consult your schedule lists or something, but if anybody has an idea, vague idea.
Hi, ma'am. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, Sonakshi. Yes, Hanji.
Ma'am, the session is about we're going to learn about interpersonal relations and therefore how to reduce conflicts.
Okay, great, wonderful. So, thank you so much. In fact, this was primarily I wanted to, connect first. I mean, I think that's our first interpersonal connect, right? Because majority of the times in these online sessions, what kind of, we miss upon is where we don't get to speak to each other or we don't get to connect with each other. So, thank you so much, Sonakshi ji. You took the first initiative, and that's what I will request कि वैसे भी हमारा टॉपिक इंटरपर्सनल रिलेशंस पे है, राइट? और उसमें अगर हम बात नहीं कर रहे हैं, टू वे कम्युनिकेशन नहीं कर रहे हैं, then we would not be able to make this session as it is effective. So to start with, I would take up some case studies from the wild. Right now, that's something which might be a little surprising that we as teachers, as educators, we've joined here for a session on interpersonal skills. But then I personally feel in nature everything operates on its own. There is a lot of self-reliance, and most of the things they don't even need to learn, but then they automatically operate in that way. So some very, very inspirational realities from the wild I wanted to share with you. So I'll open up my slide. As I said, I wanted to start up with some, in fact, real scenarios which are prevalent in the wild, right? And everything goes so, what do you say, in a systematic and in an organized way. And the best part is that they've never attended any management school or have never had such kind of, learning sessions. So first and foremost, the one on the extreme top left, which is a kind of a herd of elephants. And then there's a kind of a tagline over it which says leads towards better future. Now, any one of you, because now I can see my participants also. So any one of you who has an idea, how do these elephant groups operate? Herd of elephants, if we've ever had, any side of kind of, we've got to watch it on the National Geographic or Discovery or anywhere from any information. How do these groups of elephants operate in the nature, in the wild?
Yes, ma'am. I have that idea. So what happens is the strongest of the elephants are always in the front,
Right.
keeping the weakest of the elephant secure.
Right. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Sonakshi ji. I am glad that you have this understanding, right? The strongest is in the front and the weakest are like protected amongst the herd, right? They're protected by the rest of the bigger elephants. And any other more information about elephant groups, elephant herds? Anybody else? Anything which Sonakshi ji, did not share with us?
Ma'am, is it the case that the female elephant also walks in the front?
Yes, exactly. In fact, wow. Yes, Sonakshi ji, these are primarily matriarchal herds, right, which are led by the strongest female in the group, in the herd, right? And majority it is the females only which kind of move around in herds, right, with protecting, taking care of the younger, the kids in the herd. Yes, Archana ji, you wanted to say something?
Ma'am, actually, I'm saying कि elephant group develop a strategy to protect the elephant population.
Right.
They
Okay.
work on this strategy. and
Ji.
accordingly they work, madam, to
Yes.
preserve their habitats.
Yes, exactly. Right. Wonderful. So, yes, Archana ji, it is like the protection and safety of the younger ones and the weaker ones. And the responsibility is primarily taken up by the female, elephants in the herd, in the troop, right? So they protect the younger calves in the troop, and they are, like, surrounded by the stronger female uh, elephants around. And these strong male elephants, they mostly move around as solitary, right? They do not operate in herds or troops. They do not move around in bigger groups, so they would be solitary male elephants. But females would always, kind of follow this herd strategy, troop strategy, where they'll move around in groups, where the strongest female will take the lead, and rest of the females, they would follow the hierarchy, and they would specifically take care of the younger and the weaker ones. As Archana ji said, that their primarily the strategy is protecting or preserving their community, right? So that's indeed amazing. So there is no clash, there is no kind of confusion or chaos, that who's going to take the lead. And everyone walks around in a very disciplined and in an organized manner, specifically led by a female elephant. So that's something very peculiar, something very significant about elephant troops. Moving to the swan, right? There's a swan, the second picture on the top right corner, where there's a swan, mother swan, and it has its, like, chicks in the wings of they've kind of what do you say, entered into, or they've made a tunnel sort of a thing, right? A cocoon sort of a thing, in which they have kind of found their shelter, their protection. Anybody who has an idea about this, how does this happen, this process, which we can see it, that is the top right corner, where the swan mother is carrying the chicks in the wings, kind of in a sort of a kind of a shelter that it has made, right? So anybody who's heard about it, or any idea about it? How do swans make this possible? If not, it is okay. Let me tell you, this is basically, again, a very strong motherly instinct by the mother swans, specifically when they are swimming through the turbulent waters. Now, turbulent waters are जहाँ पे पानी में बहुत तेज बहाव है, या कहीं ना कहीं there is lot of, like, friction, or lot of yeah, Archana ji, yes, Hanji.
Actually, swan adopt the variety of environmental conditions.
Right.
They ensure their survival for the reproductive successful manner.
Okay. Wonderful. Archana ji, do you somehow come from, like, this environmental sciences or zoology background?
No, ma'am. Actually, I am electrical engineer. That too
Okay.
from Anjuman College of Engineering, Nagpur,
Okay.
Maharashtra.
Oh, wonderful. But then it is maybe out of your own personal interest that you have this.
Yeah. Yes, I have a personal interest, ma'am.
Lovely. Same here. And I get so much fascinated, how things automatically and in such a organized way they operate in the nature, in the wild. So yes, as you said, that these swans, they get adapted to the different environmental circumstances, and simultaneously they're very protective about their, the young chicks, specifically when the weather conditions are harsh, and when the waters are also kind of more turbulent, and there is a lot of fast flow and a lot of movement in the waters. So to protect their chicks, what they do is, that's in fact a very, very painful process. They would peel off some of their feathers, right? It is the swan. In fact, right now also, as we can see in the picture, the swan mother is almost with that twisted neck there. So with that twisted neck, it would try to peel off, like, some feathers, so as to create a space within its own feather pocket. And then within this pocket, like, these chicks would enter, and then the mother swan would actually swim through those very heavy flowing waters, so as to protect the chicks against all sort of turbulence. And when they have not kind of gained upon that the skill set, or that expertise in flowing through those heavy flow waters. So as I said, it's a very, very painful process for the mother swan to actually peel away its feathers, so as to create that gap or that pocket for the chicks to fit in, but somehow this is the motherly instinct, the the way, yes, they would specifically take care, ensure that the chicks do not kind of get drained away or are not taken away by the heavy flow or the turbulent waters around. Okay, now we move to the left bottom picture where we can find these butterflies. And there is a tagline which says, working within deadlines. Now, something very amazing about these butterflies, and this is a specific species of butterfly which is known as monarch butterfly, and their origin happens to be North America. Right now, North America happens to get very, very
कूलर
hot.
भरून दे कोई.
Yes, ma'am. Hanji, ma'am, you were saying something? नहीं, अच्छा, okay.
No,
अच्छा,
ma'am.
okay. हाँ जी मैम, सो आई वाज टेलिंग कि ये जो बटरफ्लाइज हैं, ये मोनार्क बटरफ्लाइज हैं, एंड इनका ओरिजिन स्पेसिफिकली नॉर्थ अमेरिका से होता है. एंड नॉर्थ अमेरिका हैपेंस टू गेट रियली हॉट विद deadly temperatures reaching up to 50 degrees during summers. So these butterflies, as it is, they happen to be very sensitive, very delicate, so they're not able to bear this much of high temperatures. So they follow a migratory cycle where these monarch butterflies would travel from North America to Central America to Canada, then South America, and finally the last generation reaching back to North America, which is a kind of an annual migratory cycle. But the concern is that the lifespan of these monarch butterflies is just hardly 4 to 6 weeks, right? Now, how do these butterflies, which actually survive or have a lifespan of 4 to 6 weeks, they follow an annual migratory cycle. पूरा साल का एक migration ये लोग complete करते हैं, जिसमें actually one generation transmits those chemical messengers, those pheromones, to the next generation, and that is during their process of reproduction, where they lay their eggs, and during those eggs only those chemical messengers are passed on to the next generation. So when those eggs hatch into caterpillars, and then caterpillars to growing up to getting transformed into butterflies, so automatically now the next generation is prepared, or they know which way or in which direction they need to fly off. Now this is so miraculous, this is so I would say amazing, right? This is a kind of a what do you say, an autopilot mode of, yes, how one generation makes way for the next generation, right? And that too without the two generations even getting to meet each other. In fact, majority of the times when it is that one generation of the butterflies, they would lay their eggs, after that they will die off, because as it is, one monarch butterfly lays around 200 to 300 eggs in one go. So which is, as it is, kind of it's a lot of energy and lot of kind of effort involved. So that's what, when one this female butterfly would lay 200 to 300 eggs, that's the kind of the end of the lifespan of that butterfly, and it would kind of die off after laying off those 200 eggs. So one generation does not even get to meet the next generation, but then they have already paved the way, they've already made the guided the way that which direction they have to kind of fly off in. And this is how a butterfly, which actually lives for only 4 to 6 weeks, follow this whole migratory cycle of 1 year. So there are so many effective, what do you say, processes of communication, how, yes, one generation takes care of the other generation, and then definitely the survival aspect. So this was about monarch butterflies. Lastly, we move to the bottom right picture, which is about a bat. And this is that specific species of vampire bat, on which a lot of English movies have been made, specifically, which are the blood-sucking species, right? So that's why they are known as those vampire bats. But somehow they are, as the tagline goes, maintain a congenial and harmonious environment. They really ensure the best of the the collaboration, the bonhomie, the kind of the family culture or the colonial culture that they maintain, because all these bats, they live in colonies, right? And which it is like every different age group of bats are assigned responsibilities. Just say what we used to have earlier in our joint families, because these days we hardly find joint families. But then in these colonies of bats, we find bats of all different generations and all different ages. So specifically the stronger and the, kind of the mature bats would take a flight off every night, where they would go in search of food which happens to be primarily dead organisms, or maybe blood, which they kind of suck around from, again, dead animals. So that's their feed. So they would go and get food for the rest of the members who stay back in the colonies. Now, who are the members who stay back in the colonies? Specifically the aged vampires, who are now weak in their energies and they cannot move around. So they are made to stay back in the colony, and then they are given this responsibility to take care of the younger ones, the kids. So it's like the grandparents staying back with the grandchildren in the colonies, and it is the parents who go around to fetch that, food for rest all those who have stayed back in the colony. So when these, the parent bats, that is the more mature and the stronger bats, they go in search of food. So primarily they kind of, get upon a lot of dead material, dead organisms, and blood into their throat glands. So they have these specific throat glands where they would store in all that, organic, not organic, basically, what do you say, the dead material, so the dead material that is stored there, and the blood inclusive. And then when they come back to their colonies, they would kind of, what is it, they would vomit it out. They would vomit out all that blood and all that, material which they had stored it in their throat glands, and which then is like a source of feed to the rest of the aged and the younger bats which had stayed back in the colonies. So there is no conflict, there is no kind of, any misunderstanding that who's taking care of which responsibility. Each generation, each age group, they have their well defined roles and responsibility, and everybody kind of very harmoniously takes care of what, responsibilities are assigned to them. So these were a few stories which I found, not stories, the real situations, the real, episodes which happen in the that's how, in fact, all these different, living beings in the wild, in the nature, they survive, or they kind of take care or preserve their generations, and they, carry on from one generation to the other. So now, after listening to all these real episodes, those real scenarios which are prevalent in the wild, what are your takeaways, any one of you? I mean, with which of the, the animal or the living being you could connect the most, or you found it really amazing or interesting, or something, which you found it out of the box really happening in the wild, or anything else which is your personal, perception or your understanding? Something which you found it to be really amazing, something which, anybody, any comments, any remarks?
Good morning, ma'am.
Yeah, very good morning, ma'am. Hanji.
Actually, from the first picture, a herd of elephants,
Yes, ma'am.
where you conveyed it to us that the strongest is the female,
Right,
who leads the group.
right,
And
ma'am.
this is, I think, this is a pertinent example of the lady of the family, or
Right,
the female, or you can say the mother,
right,
the family, who is the strongest person in the family, who
true.
takes care of the whole family, and
Right,
leads the family in proper direction.
exactly,
So
exactly.
the mother part, strongest part, who leads the family in a
Ji,
proper direction. That is, I think, is my takeaway from this first
one.
picture.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so, ma'am. Sorry, I'm not able to see your name there. Maybe just
My
because
name
of
is
Ma'am,
Vibha Atre. Vibha
yeah.
Atre.
Vibha, ma'am. Okay, thank you so much.
Rojala ma'am, can you just move your slide to the left then? This
Slide
screen,
to the
uh,
left.
yeah,
Okay, 1 second. I'll do so.
you can just move the, yes.
It's
And
like
then,
this.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and then no, keep it
Oops. I'll go back. I'll go back. 1 second. Hanji.
and move it towards the left.
G. 1 second. Yep. Hanji.
And then maybe you can just click. No, just don't take it in
Oops.
the upper direction. Just towards the left, a bit to the right.
Bit to the right.
Yeah, that's fine. And ma'am, then maybe you will see the messages also, and then who is speaking.
I
Also,
think
yes,
this is
yeah.
better now, Hanji.
Yes.
Yeah, this is
ma'am.
better. Yes.
I'm Vibha Atre from
Right, ma'am.
Indore, Madhya Pradesh.
Thank you so much, Vibha ma'am. That was indeed, very heartening that we could find that real connect with our real scenarios, real life scenarios,
ma'am.
where we witness almost every family is led by a strong female, a strong woman, which can be in form of a mother. It can be, even a grandmother, right?
Yeah.
Or even So really nice. Thank you so much. Yes, Archana ma'am, I see your hand raised there.
Ma'am, actually, you are giving a good example of environmental science means nature, because
Ji.
I believe in living with nature. And
Yes.
मैं हमेशा सोच रही है कि 84 लाख जीवों में सिर्फ
हाँ.
मानव ही धन कमाता है, लेकिन कभी कोई जीव भूखा नहीं मरता और मानव का कभी पेट नहीं भरता.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Ashna ma'am. That's food for thought. Seriously, देखिए हम लोग सारी जिंदगी इसी खाना मतलब खाना या रोटी कमाने के लिए दौड़ते हैं, एंड फिर भी यस मे बी वो हमारी जो इच्छाएं हैं, एस्पिरेशंस, एंड देयर इज नो एंड टू इट. So yeah, really thoughtful. जी. नवीन जी, आपने भी लिखा है कि फीमेल एलिफेंट्स stay in herd forever. They protect their babies. Male elephants leave between the ages of 7 and 12. They live alone and in small herd of males. So true. Yes. So मतलब that's independence of thought, independence of lifestyle, right? कोई किसी को मतलब compulsively force नहीं करता है कि नहीं you have to be part of our herd or you cannot leave the herd, right? Some things are already pre-decided, and that's how they operate. They operate in complete harmony, right? किसी को किसी से शिकायत नहीं है. Nobody is like kind of offended with anybody कि oh, you did not go according to what I had expected. So in fact, least expectations, maybe that's how nature operates, and that's where maybe we as humans go wrong. Specifically, why our relations get weak over a due course of time, because as the kind of the intimacy or the kind of the longevity of a relationship increases, our expectations also keep coupling up, राइट? जितना ज्यादा हमारा एक रिलेशन, एक रिश्ता गहरा या लंबा टाइम चलता है, हमारी जो उनसे कहीं ना कहीं उम्मीदें हैं, इच्छाएं हैं, राइट, वो और बढ़ती चली जाती हैं. एंड दिस इज वेयर वी प्राइमरली गो रॉन्ग. आई थिंक इन नेचर they do what they have been assigned or what they have been made for, and then they operate without any expectations. And then another very important aspect is I think as humans we have this real bad habit of poking, right? Specifically this is in the world of social media, a very common terminology used, which is known as poking. I don't know if we've heard about it or not. Anybody who has any idea what is this habit of poking? Anybody? If we've ever heard about it. Okay, if not poking, there are a lot of things which we do jokingly, right? I hope we've heard, हम बहुत सारी चीजें खासकर in our human relations we say I just did it jokingly. So what is the Hindi translation of anything which we do it jokingly? What was I doing? हम normally yes
मजाक
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 में. एग्जैक्टली. थैंक यू रोहित सर. मजाक में. फिर एक और सिमिलर कैटेगरी का आता है जिसको हम कहते हैं टीजिंग. अब इन दोनों में कुछ फर्क है? इज देयर एनी डिफरेंस बिटवीन जोकिंग एंड टीजिंग? टीजिंग का हिंदी क्या होगा?
मैम
चिढ़ाना. एग्जैक्टली. तो थोड़ा सा लेवल अप हो गया, राइट? लेवल ऑफ maybe yes, किसी को तंग करने का हमारा थोड़ा सा वो increase हो गया. And then there is another terminology, bullying, right? अब bullying का हिंदी क्या होगा? Bullying, जैसे joking is मजाक करना, teasing is yes चिढ़ाना, and bullying will be anybody? Can we call bullying as परेशान करना?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, हाँ, परेशान करना, right? Now, let's see how these three terminologies go hand in hand, right? जब हमारे साथ कोई, कुछ ऐसा करता है with which we do not feel comfortable, or there is some sort of discomfort or some sort of embarrassment or maybe even harassment, right? What would we normally say? Would we ever say कि वो हमारे साथ joke कर रहे थे या मजाक कर रहे थे या क्या कहेंगे हम जब हमारे साथ ऐसा कुछ होता है, where we are not comfortable about any sort of remark, any sort of behavior or conduct? So will we say कि yes, that other person was just joking?
No, ma'am.
No.
It is a negative impact on individual mental and
Yes.
emotional well-being.
Yes. So what would we end up saying? What was happening to me? Or what was the other person doing to me? I think we would never say that they were joking with me. We would normally say that they were trying to tease me, or if it was, the level of hurt was more. I was hurt more about it. Mujhe zyada bura laga. So then I would say I was being bullied. Right? I would never say that the other person was just joking with me. Now, can we reverse the situation when I am doing a similar thing to somebody else? मैं किसी को ऐसे तंग करने की कोशिश कर रही हूँ, परेशान करने की कोशिश कर रही हूँ, and when somebody asks me what are you doing, or means what was your kind of intention, so I would say I was just joking. I would never say I was teasing or bullying, isn't it? I hope we kind of got the the message.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Rohit ji, are you also convinced about it?
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ, कि जब हमारे साथ ऐसा होता है तो हम हमेशा कहेंगे कि दूसरे ने मुझे टीज करने की या बुली करने की कोशिश की, लेकिन अगर मैं कुछ ऐसा कर रहा हूँ तो आई वुड ऑलवेज से कि नहीं, आई तो वाज जस्ट जोकिंग, मैं तो सिर्फ मजाक कर रहा था, बिकॉज यस मुझे दूसरे के लेवल का हर्ट नहीं समझ आया, राइट? एंड वेरी फ्रैंकली मेरा इंटेंशन सिर्फ वो कुछ अच्छा फील करना था, to feel good about with by kind of just maybe troubling somebody, but I never realized that trouble could be as bad, could be as damaging as somebody feeling bullied or somebody being really harassed about it. And similarly with me, because I am personally a sensitive person, or maybe I don't want to be teased or kind of people to joke around with me. So if somebody does the little minutest of thing, kind of have a behavior or a conduct which is beyond my level of expectation or comfort, so I would always end up saying that I was being bullied or I was being teased, right? I would never say that the other person was just joking around with me. Now this is that kind of relative level of understanding, or basically how situations or how the similar scenario changes when it is from myself to somebody else, or when it is from somebody else to myself, right? So now let's try and understand what are those barriers specifically we as humans we create in our relations, right? Because as we just discussed, these some real scenarios in the wild, in the nature, they don't have these habits of teasing, joking, bullying, or maybe what we say poking, right? Trying to prick somebody's weak points is poking, right? Which only we humans do it, because we are more clever, we are more intelligent, and we really know how to do things specifically for our own what do you say, for our own some sort of my little joy, little momentary kind of happiness. And that sometimes even includes where I am going to the end of hurting somebody or maybe troubling somebody, where I feels that okay, at least I am enjoying by maybe by troubling somebody. So this is only we humans do it. Animals don't do that, right? They are very clear about their intentions. They're very kind of, they know ki yes, they would never have those dual intentions, right? They would always ki agar mujhe bhook lagi hai, to similarly I would pound somebody and I'll satisfy my hunger. But then I would not be in that, kind of nature or that habit of troubling somebody just to feel good about it. Okay, so let's go as barriers to I didn't, what happened? My slide is
Ma'am,
not.
no,
Yes,
no,
yes.
no. Ma'am, just since you clicked somewhere else, can you go to your PowerPoint, ma'am? In the
Hanji,
tab.
I'll go. Hanji.
Yeah.
It's visible now.
Okay. Yes.
Thank you. So now let's move to the next slide, which is the barriers to relations, right? Because as humans, we're more intelligent, we are more clever, and we really know what best works out for us. So many things, knowingly or unknowingly, we will do it for our own self benefit, for our own self satisfaction. Specifically, avoiding people, avoiding situations, avoiding circumstances which I don't want, which I feel ki, they do not kind of create a comfort, they do not give me a sense of feeling secure or safety. So then I would start avoiding those situations. And this is how we are a stronger species, where we know ki what is good for us, and where we do not feel comfortable, we would start neglecting or avoiding that situation or people, right? Burnout. Now, burnout is specifically a situation where in any relationship or in any association, you feel you're being drained more. आपका एनर्जी, आपका एफर्ट ज्यादा लग रहा है, and in return you're not getting that equal kind of compatibility or equal response, right? So somewhere you feel that yes, to kind of carry on with the relationship, you only have to put in a lot of effort, and eventually by the end of the day, or maybe by after a little longer duration, you feel ki you've really given up a lot in that relationship, but then maybe still things are not working, or still you do not feel uplifted in that relation. So that's a burnout situation, and because of it, many times relations then get what do you say, they get weakened, or they get finally diffused. Compatibility issues, we all understand. Specifically, this is a major concern when people from different backgrounds, different socio economic environments or family cultures, they have to come along together as teams, or specifically in a workspace. So we would not find everybody, or anyone compatible with us. So where coming along as a team gets more difficult. So there, yes, we would always have those team conflicts, or team members would not be comfortable together, because there are these compatibility issues. Devotional void. Now, this is a very, very common scenario in the present era, where there is a total lack of commitment, right? In any sort of relationship, right? Whether it is personal or professional, people do not have that kind of patience, those kind of patience levels, or those kind of dedication towards their relations, right? After some time, they would feel ki, yes, they are not what do you feel, they do not feel the need of continuing with that relationship or association, or maybe their commitment levels start dwindling. As I said, it is a very, very common problem, a common concern in the present scenario. Anybody who would like to point it out, why it is a common concern in the present scenario, why our commitment levels kind of keep fluctuating or go down very soon? ऐसा क्यों होता है? आज प्रेजेंट सिनेरियो में, प्रेजेंट लाइफ में हमारे कमिटमेंट लेवल्स क्यों बहुत जल्दी फ्लक्चुएट कर जाते हैं, या ड्विंडल करने लगते हैं, या शेकन अप हो जाते हैं? Anybody, any guesses, any आपको लगता हो कि maybe this is the reason?
Yes, dear participants, I request you to kindly respond. Yeah, ma'am, actually, they are a very interactive audience. Maybe
Okay.
they just take some time to
Okay,
open up.
great.
They
And
usually.
I'm really concerned, Manisha ji, the language also, because I think I'm keeping it more to English. But कई बार ये होता है कि yes, people who are more comfortable, you can answer back
Absolutely,
in any of the two official language, that is English or Hindi. मैं दोनों समझती हूँ, right? और दोनों बोलती भी हूँ, but अभी मैं specifically because I get to understand कि हमारे कुछ participants South India से हैं, so that's why I was trying to keep it more towards English. लेकिन आप कुछ भी आप हिंदी में भी प्लीज रिस्पॉन्ड कर सकते हैं. क्यों हमें लगता है कि आज हमारे कमिटमेंट लेवल्स हमारे रिलेशंस में इतने स्ट्रांग नहीं रहे हैं, इतने कुछ देर बाद ही हमारी जो डेडिकेशन है, हमारा कहीं ना कहीं जो एक रिलेशन में जो एक हेल्दी फीलिंग है वो कहीं ना कहीं वीक होने लगती है. अनुराधा जी, यू मेंशन बिकॉज पीपल हैव बिकम मोर सेल्फ सेंट्रिक. Yes, that is definitely one of the reasons. And it is a competitive environment and our relations and commitments are getting weak. Yes, when we say it's a competitive environment where we all have become more aspirational, we have become more, none of us want to settle down for less, right? हम किसी भी profession में हैं, किसी भी job में हैं, right? आज even अगर हाँ मतलब वही चीज है कि even into a teaching उसमें भी we all want to prove, we all want to justify that yes, I am the best, right? And I know the most. And usi usme, yes, where actually a relationship and association means where you want to uplift each other. In fact, that's the strongest foundation of any relationship, where you are willing to give your best to the other person, right? जिसमें वही चीज है, अगर आप बहुत सेल्फ सेंट्रिक हो जाते हैं या हमेशा you're only concerned about your personal needs, your personal growth, so you would never be able to kind of focus upon the other person. And जिसमें वही धीरे धीरे हमारा जो एक connection hai in the relations, that starts getting weaker. Naveen ji says we are becoming impatient and want instant solution for problems. Maybe we should spare more time for understanding and building relations and allowing bounding. Exactly. Now giving time to each other. But the concern is, where is the time? Right? As I said, in the present era, in the present situation, I think majority of us, we are complaining about shortage of time. And the reason is this only, that there are too many aspirations, too many I think Archana ji ने वो बहुत अच्छा एक हिंदी में एक वो हमें एग्जांपल दिया कि वही बात है कि हम लोग सारी जिंदगी we keep struggling, we keep kind of facing all the hardships and challenges, but still we would feel ki, yes, I'm not accomplished, I'm not fulfilled with what I have around, right? So with the level of aspirations, expectations have grown out so much, right? But we only expect, we are not willing to give back. We're not even willing to give back our time also. In fact, time to सबसे बड़ा constraint हो गया है, right? And दूसरा आज कहीं ना कहीं present scenario में हम ज़्यादा anti social हो गए हैं. When it comes to face, eye to eye interaction, we don't want to get into it. We really avoid that, right? But when it's a kind of an online conversation or chit chatting with somebody through in the digital space, we can continue for hours together. So वही चीज है कि हम वो जो real world में, real life में, real relations को celebrate करते हैं, वो आज कहीं ना कहीं बहुत मुश्किल हो गया. दूसरा, we become really less accommodating. राइट आज हम लोग बिल्कुल एडजस्ट नहीं कर पाते हैं. राइट नाउ लेट्स वेरी फ्रैंकली गोइंग बैक टू आवर पर्सनल रिलेशंस. In fact, when we're not convinced with our personal relations, we would never end up getting more effective in our professional relations also. So aaj very frankly, as it is, joint families have broken down into nuclear का भी सब nuclear हो गया है, जहाँ पे children are at some different location, studying at some different location, husband wife are working at some different location. So it is maybe once in a week or once in a month that the families also come together. Those nuclear families also get to come together. And in fact उसमें भी अगर कहीं आप 3-4 दिन से ज्यादा एक साथ होते तो उसके बाद you start feeling कि oh no, I'm kind of losing upon my personal space and personal time, right? And that's why the kind of split up families or maybe the divorce rates have also got aggravated so much, right? And when people coming from such broken families reach out to their workspaces, then it gets all the more difficult for them to get accommodated or adjusted with people who are specifically not your family, who are not your blood relations, and then they come from all diverse backgrounds, diverse cultures, right, different level of understanding. तो उनके साथ accommodate करना हमें और भी मुश्किल हो जाता है. Okay, we are all, I mean, as it is, you're all teachers, you're all educators, and definitely the one of the most learned class of the society, right? कहीं ना कहीं आप लोग ज्यादा जानते हैं, समझते हैं, लेकिन फिर भी हम सबसे ज्यादा समझदार या सबसे ज्यादा वाइज किसको देखते हैं? Who is considered to be the one of the most wise person around? जिनको हम सबसे ज्यादा मैच्योर एंड जिनके विजडम के लिए हमेशा अप्रिशिएट. सो व्हाट इज द हाईएस्ट लेवल ऑफ विजडम? What is the highest level of wisdom? Anybody? Specifically in relations. सबसे ज्यादा समझदारी क्या है रिश्तों में? Yeah, that's my question. What is the highest level of wisdom in relations? और वही कि सबसे ज्यादा हम कब समझदारी दिखाते हैं अपने relations में? Anybody?
Ma'am, when we show some patience and
When we show
empathy
some-
towards each other, keeping
Exactly.
ourselves in their shoes, maybe.
Right, wonderful. Empathy, right? In fact, empathy has really geared up in the present times, right? Everybody is talking about getting more empathetic, and which is a very high level of emotional intelligence. Only very emotionally intelligent people can actually get empathetic, right? But वही बात है कि हम तो शायद अपनी professional space में emotional भी नहीं होना चाहते हैं, right? But then let me please clarify कि only emotional people can reach to the next level of being emotionally intelligent, right? Dr. Mayang says understanding. Yes, understanding again needs a lot of patience, as Sonakshi ji said, lot of empathy, then only we are able to understand. And specifically jab hamare relations, I mean, I think these all things go in good enough, or they help to strengthen the relation when we are trying to understand each other, we are being empathetic to each other, we are being patient to each other. But the real problem comes when the relations gets constrained, जब कहीं रिश्तों में दरार आ जाती है, right? जब वही बात है कि we are somewhere, hurt, or we are not kind of now that compatible with each other due to whatever may be the reasons, specifically some sort of conflict, misunderstanding. So उस time पे the highest level of wisdom is forgiveness. The highest level of wisdom in the spoiled relations is forgiveness, right? अब बात ये है कि हम क्या forgive कर पाते हैं, right? और अगर हम forgive कर पाते हैं तो हम किसको forgive करना चाहते हैं? Is it everybody, or is it anybody specific, or is it anybody really important? Forgiveness is one of the highest level of wisdom. सबसे बड़ी समझदारी है, खासकर उन रिश्तों में जहां पर कहीं हमारे रिश्ते कमजोर हो गए हैं, किसी तरह की मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग डेवलप हो गई है, या कहीं ना कहीं कोई कॉन्फ्लिक्ट ही इवॉल्व हो गया है, right? So उस टाइम पे the highest level of wisdom is forgiveness. So are we able to really forgive? Let's check upon our reality. हमने कुछ real scenarios अभी understand किए थे nature से, लेकिन now it's the time to come somewhere reflect into the reality of we humans. क्या हम इंसान क्षमा भाव रखते हैं? क्या हम माफ करने की काबिलियत रखते हैं? Are we really able to forgive? And specifically to those who have somewhere maybe teased us, bullied us, made us feel, hurt. They've hurt us in some way, directly or indirectly, made us feel embarrassed or harassed, or maybe there was some misunderstanding, right? So are we able to forgive? It's a big time capability.
Yes, ma'am, we have that capability to forgive the other person.
Okay.
Uh,
Wonderful. Ji, Rohit
but
ji.
we are able to exercise it when we value the relationship more than the event.
Exactly. Very true. Thank you so much, Rohit ji. When we value the relationship or we value the person more than that one episode or maybe some episodes of misunderstanding, chaos, conflict, whatever happened, right? आज हम लोग वही बात है कि very frankly, as Naveen ji has also mentioned, forgiveness is really rare these days. Let's reflect. Let's really reflect. मतलब, in fact, I always somehow, right now the constraint is that we are all connected online, so we cannot make it that, that uh, wholesome experience of connecting eye to eye, face to face, right? लेकिन कुछ चीजें हम definitely कहीं भी हैं, अपनी किसी भी location पर बैठे हैं, we can reflect. Whom would you always kind of, look up to in your lives as one of your strongest relation? Matlab, yes, people who have supported you during your difficult times, or maybe who have, trusted you. But I think in within that scenario also, there must have been somebody who's forgiven you. Can we reflect upon कोई ऐसा था जिन्होंने आपको माफ कर दिया, क्षमा कर दिया, right? Specifically where you went wrong. Anyone, can we reflect upon your mother? Thank you so much, Naveen ji. Yes, mother से बड़ा association, mother से बड़ा कोई, relationship होता ही नहीं है. And it is not only with we humans, as we kind of, just reflected upon some real scenarios from the wild also. I think it's the mother who would take care of all, what do you say, who would go to any extent to actually take care of its children, right? Dr. Mayank says parents, they forgive us very often, right? In fact, I think hum log sari zindagi, even if we keep committing mistakes, it's our parents who would always forgive us and who would always give us that second chance, right? To improve, to actually, yes, become a better human. They would not only forgive us, they would always even kind of, give us that hope for a better tomorrow, and they would always even give us that guidance, yes, that how we can improve, right? So I think now that forgiveness, because very frankly, as humans, uh, we are the species who make maximum mistakes. I think we will agree to that. As humans, we make maximum mistakes. And think about if there was nothing like this capability of forgiveness, तो हमारे लिए हमारा सर्वाइवल कितना मुश्किल हो जाता. Think about if our parents did not have this capability, did not have this, extra strength, extra power to forgive. So we would have not even reached up to the stages where we are today, right? We would have been smashed down with our guilt, with our regrets, with our all sort of negative emotions, ki yes, I am a total failure in life. But then there was somebody to forgive us, somebody to give us a second chance, somebody to trust in us and make us believe that yes, if even if we went wrong today, we always can kind of improve in the times to come. So I think now I would primarily want all of you to primarily focus on this, very, very important skill of forgiveness, right? And why forgive? In fact, we humans, we are very smart. We are very clever. हम किसी भी चीज से convince नहीं होते हैं जब तक हमारे पास उसका कोई concrete reason नहीं होता है, right? So now I have to give you some reasons कि हम क्यों forgive करें, हम क्यों वो लोग जो हमें अच्छे नहीं लगते हैं या जो मे बी हमारी तरह के नहीं हैं, या but somehow we need to understand that yes, are they somewhere important to us, as Rohit ji said, even in professional space, right? There will be people who are not your kind, with whom you're not compatible, but then definitely they hold a role, they hold a a position, or they hold a responsibility which makes them important, right? Now if we have to specifically kind of associate with that role, responsibility, or that position that they hold, we have to first and foremost give them a chance to forgive us for all the blunders and all the mistakes that we make. And similarly, we also have to forgive them for the times when they lost their temperament, when they kind of did not come up to your expectations. Forgiveness is not only when somebody goes wrong. Forgiveness is even then जब कोई आपकी expectations के accordingly अपने आप को prove नहीं कर पाया, राइट उस टाइम पे भी हमें उन्हें माफ कर देना. आई थिंक वही चीज है. मैक्सिमम टाइम्स पेरेंट्स के केस में हम बहुत कुछ गलत करते रहे, बहुत कुछ ऐसा करते रहे जो उनकी उम्मीद से हटके था, बियॉन्ड देयर एक्सपेक्टेशंस था, बट स्टिल दे forgive us, right? And then primarily we always had this back of our mind कि चाहे strict हैं, चाहे sometimes they get angry with us, sometimes they get really upset with us, but then also we always had this very strongly within our back of the mind that they are our parents. And parents definitely is one of the strongest relationship, and that relationship matters, those individuals matter, and इसीलिए हम भी अपने आप को बहुत तरह से उनकी expectations के accordingly change करते रहे, adjust करते रहे, accommodate करते रहे. We need relations. As human beings, we are social beings. We need not only relations, we need satisfying and happy relations, because that makes us feel protected, secure. That gives us a sense of happiness, contentment, right? In fact, it is the mantra to a happy and a healthier and a longer life. People who actually are surrounded by good relations, good associations, good friends, right, a good family environment, good work companions, they are always happier, right? They're always more understanding, they're always more empathetic, and they definitely have this blessing of actually living a healthier, longer life. So now I think that's a very strong reason that why we need to have good relations, why we need to specifically invest our time and energy into our relations. Up flourishing relations, jahan pe yes, our relations are not only happy and healthy, but then they are prospering, right? I think in today's scenario, when we all are looking up to growth, we are all looking up to success, prosperity, progress and prosperity is something which gets very, very important for us. Progress and prosperity. And similarly, these concepts we have to look up into our relations also, right? Ki are we progressing and prospering in our relations? जिसके लिए कुछ ingredients, जैसे हम एक अच्छी डिश बनाते हैं, राइट तो उसी के लिए हमें कुछ इंग्रेडिएंट्स की जरूरत होती है. वैसे ही फ्लरिशिंग रिलेशंस के लिए भी हमें कुछ इंग्रेडिएंट्स की जरूरत होती है, जिसमें एक अच्छी रेपो बिल्डअप करना, राइट? मतलब वही चीज है कि जहां पर इवन इफ समबडी इज ट्राइंग टू मिसगाइड यू अगेंस्ट समवन, खासकर जिनके साथ आपका एक अच्छा एसोसिएशन है. ओके, नाउ दिस इज समथिंग आई वुड लाइक टू टॉक अपॉन. There is a lot of misunderstanding, there is a lot of distrust prevailing. Distrust and misunderstanding prevailing around, right? बहुत ज्यादा हमारे लिए सबसे मुश्किल जो आज के सिनेरियो में है वो किसी पे विश्वास करना है, और उससे भी ज्यादा फिर उनको विश्वास करके उन्हें ठीक से समझ पाना है, राइट? कई बार हम विश्वास तो करते हैं, बट फिर भी हमारे बीच बहुत सारी मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग्स, कंफ्यूजन्स, क्योस रहते हैं. लेकिन जैसे रोहित जी ने कहा कि इफ द पर्सन और द रिलेशनशिप मैटर्स, देन आई थिंक एवरीथिंग गेट्स सेकेंडरी. बट स्टिल देयर विल बी पीपल अराउंड टू मिसगाइड, mislead, या maybe provoke us against somebody. उसने आपके बारे में ऐसा कहा, ये इंसान तो ठीक ही नहीं है, उसका तो काम ही ऐसा है, राइट? एंड खासकर ये जिस किसी के बारे में बात हो रहा है, अगर वो इंसान, वो इंडिविजुअल प्रोफेशनल या पर्सनल कैपेसिटी में हमारे लिए मैटर करता है, तो क्या रीजंस बन जाते हैं जिसकी वजह से हम अपने ट्रस्ट और अपनी अंडरस्टैंडिंग लेवल में वीक नहीं होते हैं. I hope my question is clear. If somebody is trying to misguide or mislead us or give us some false information against someone with whom we already have a good compatibility, a good kind of a rapport, right? Then also we would not be kind of misled. We would not, हमारा जो trust level है, it will not be shaken up. So why it happens? Why even if somebody is giving some wrong information, we would still kind of stay strong on our trust or on our levels of understanding. How does this happen? I hope my question is clear. First of all, is my question clear? Anyone, please? I have kind of, elaborated the whole question in both Hindi and English. हमें समझ आया what I'm trying to ask? Anybody, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, okay. Thank you, Rohitji, for that input. So, if the question is clear, can you come up with some inputs, Rohitji, that yes, if somebody is trying to misguide us or mislead us against someone on whom we already have a lot of trust, or we have a good kind of a compatibility with that person, then why do we not kind of get shaken up? क्यों हम फिर भी उन पे विश्वास करते हैं, and why do we still keep kind of continuing that good association?
Because when we carry that level of trust that they, no matter what, they have a good intentions
Right,
for us. They
right,
hold good intentions,
right.
and if they are guiding us wrongly, so that might be that we are perceiving it as something wrong at that time, but in the long run, it might be a thing which is which is necessary for us. So
Mhm.
like we say that it's a bitter pill to swallow. So
Right,
it
right.
could be bitter at that
True,
present moment,
true. Right,
but later on we would like for any kid also, the mother
right,
scolds him,
right,
even slaps
right.
him to do
True.
the homework and all.
Right.
So the kid feels that why is she doing like this? I mean, he starts crying, but when he grows up, he has that level of maturity. He understands
True,
that it was for my benefit only.
true, true. Wonderful. So, but then maybe for some time, I think our relations will be constrained, right? When somebody really kind of poisons our minds, right? कि नहीं वो आप आप वैसे ही उन पे विश्वास करते हैं, वो तो ठीक नहीं है, या वो मे बी आपके अगेंस्ट बहुत exploit करते हैं, manipulate करते हैं, right? So how do we still keep trusting the people in that scenario of manipulations, because it's a very very manipulative world around? कुछ मैंने ऑलरेडी
Ma'am,
पॉइंटर्स मेरी स्लाइड पे हैं.
ma'am, before
जी,
forgiving the other person,
जी.
we should ask ourselves this question: that is he really worth forgiving or trusting back again?
राइट,
Because if a
राइट.
person changes like after like spending good amount of time, like 7 years, 10 years, and then he all of a sudden starts guiding us wrongly,
राइट,
that as per
राइट.
my understanding, that is
जी,
something which he is doing deliberately, because
ओके,
nobody can change all of a sudden. Because
डेफिनेटली. हाँ,
yeah,
राइट.
so and that is a very sad moment for the other person to get to know that for this entire duration he has been manipulated, and this is a scenario which is very
कॉमन.
uh, prevalent in today's
Yes,
time.
it is very true, very true.
And
uh,
we get that sense of being cheated. To be very honest, we have
yes,
invested so much time and energy
right,
on that person.
right, right. True, true. I could really feel that personal connect with whatever you said, Rohitji, that effort, energy, everything towards a relationship or an association, and in return things are just kind of happening the other way around, so you feel somewhere cheated or manipulated, and this is a very very common scenario right now. Even if yes, those manipulations are happening, whether it is coming directly from that person or maybe somebody else is trying to, yes, misguide or mislead, I think now fixing our focus or finding our clarity, जहां पर कुछ चीजें जैसे uniqueness of that person, right? Is that person extraordinary, or maybe something, some extra speciality of that individual जो उनको आपके बाकी relation से हटकर बनाता है, जिसकी वजह से maybe they are irreplaceable. They are, you know, and you have a very, very strong dependence or a very strong interdependence onto that person, right? You already share a very strong kind of what do you say, an intimacy, which is primarily your intimacy of your thoughts, your emotions, your feelings. You've really opened up, and specifically maybe you've opened up, you know, your hidden secrets of life with that person. So maybe there have been some sort of, you know, kind of that trust, that kind of belief that yes, I can rely upon this person. So there is a kind of a, you know, as I said, it's an interdependence. And then definitely when you're able to put up all these factors together and then try to figure out, reflect upon, if that person is that, you know, kind of irreplaceable in your life. I think when it comes to parents, there is no doubt about it. हम हर किसी को हमारी जिंदगी में वो क्लैरिटी है कि yes, parents are irreplaceable, right? Even before, more than children, our parents, you know, really take that stand in our life, right? Because children also tomorrow they move on in their directions, finding, you know, in their own journey of career and, you know, whatever their dreams take up to. But parents have always stood up for us during all our ups and downs. So even during the times when they are showing that you know, they are being little more strict, or maybe they're not valuing our emotion at certain moments, we still know ki, yes, what is their uniqueness, what is our dependence onto them, and then there is no second thought, there is no doubt about it. I think why we are going wrong in our relations today is because there is a lot of doubt. Yes, Naveenji, honesty and accountability are really, really important for building trust in relationship. But now I would put back everything to I, me, myself. In a relationship, there are definitely, to begin with, there are two people, right? I and you, right? अब वही चीज है कि before I look up to that honesty, that accountability, that trust, that respect, that empathy, whatever, right? Am I equally giving back that to you? Am I being responsible for that? So my only concern is ki, you know, one of the easiest, simplest thing that we can do is we can put a blame onto somebody else. आपने ये मेरे साथ ठीक नहीं किया, आप यहाँ पे गलत थे. But believe me, there are always reasons to whatever happens, right? So if somebody really went beyond your expectations, or somebody, and that somebody whom you have trusted once upon a time, with whom you've shared a close, you know, intimacy of thoughts, emotions, and yes, you know, that compatibility, agar aaj aapko lag raha hai ki that person has ditched you, that person has not been good to you, now do we have a reason why this happened? Was it that altogether the person changed, or was it that yes, you also had been somewhere shirking your responsibility in, you know, making it a harmonious or a flourishing relationship? Flourishing relationship means extra commitment, extra responsibility, going out of the way, actually giving your best towards that relationship to keep it, you know, flourishing, booming, and prospering. So are you doing your part, you know, 100% well? Anybody in any association, in any relationship, whether it is personal, whether it is professional, do you have this clarity कि आप अपना 100% दे रहे हैं, आपकी तरफ से कहीं कोई you know, आनाकानी या कोई किसी तरह का what do you say, lesser efforts नहीं हो रहे हैं, या reduced you know, yes, you know, are you giving that extra commitment if you're expecting that in return?
No, ma'am. Somewhere I feel that we are also not standing up to the expectation of the other person.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Rohitji. That was a very, very honest confession, right? I think, as I said, one of the easiest thing that we can do is we can pass on the blame to somebody else. That person was not right to me. That person did not stand for me during my tough times. But how many times do we reflect that how much was I being responsible? How much was I, you know, being there for that person, right? I think majority of the problems, majority of the ego clashes get resolved when we start in a relationship with myself. what is my share in that relationship? When I say my share in that relationship is not what I get in return. My share is my contribution, right? My share of contribution towards my relationship. How much is my commitment, my devotion, my kind of respect, or maybe that level of trust or honesty, right? If I am not giving my 100%, then nowhere I also deserve this, what 100% of those efforts coming back from the other side, right? As it is now, we've already clearly defined, we've talked about, it's a very self-centric world. There is always scarcity of time, right? So in that minimal time and minimal effort, what is the best you can do for your relationship is what you need to ask yourself before you kind of expect from the other person, right? आप उस सीमित टाइम, उसको सीमित एफर्ट्स जो आप जितना लगा सकते हैं, आप क्या बेस्ट कर सकते हैं, दैट्स व्हाट आपको टाइम एंड अगेन अपने आप को रिफ्लेक्ट, अपने आप को इंट्रोस्पेक्ट करने की जरूरत है. Which starts with mutual trust. Now mutual trust means it's a two-way association, right? So if I am somewhere shirking my what do you say, giving back of trust, how can I expect, sorry, giving back of respect, how can I expect that the other person would value me or respect me for my thoughts and ideologies? It all starts with, as I said, I, me, myself. वही जो तीन मैंने आपको aspects बताए थे, joking, teasing and bullying, वही चीज है. जब मैं किसी के साथ किसी को थोड़ा सा परेशान करने की कोशिश कर रही हूँ, आई वुड नेवर से कि यस मैं बुली कर रही हूँ, लेकिन कोई और मेरे को परेशान कर रहा है तो आई वुड नेवर से कि वो मेरे साथ मजाक कर रहा है. दैट्स हाउ द टर्मिनोलॉजीज, द आइडियोलॉजीज, द पर्सपेक्टिव्स चेंज ऑल टुगेदर. माइंड, जिसके लिए बीइंग माइंडफुल है कि इससे पहले कि आप कुछ भी कहें, कुछ भी करें, जस्ट गिव इट अ थॉट. Just give it a thought, what is going to be the impact of what I'm going to tell the other person. Sometimes it's like, we really believe in being straightforward. We really believe in, yes, putting our point of view clearly, communicating it, as it has to be done, right? Expressing it. But without kind of, being mindful or thoughtful that what is going to be the outcome of it. Uska impact kya hoga. उस वक्त के लिए मैंने उन्हें बता दिया कि आपने मेरे साथ ठीक नहीं किया, यू हैव नॉट बीन गुड टू मी, आई हैव स्टॉप ट्रस्टिंग यू, आई डोंट थिंक सो आई कैन कंटिन्यू इन दिस एसोसिएशन अगेन, राइट? What is gonna be the impact of it? Majority of the times we are not that thoughtful. We just say it because I had to say it. We just express ourselves because I wanted to vent it out. But in the process of you venting it out, what more hazardous damages that you've done, right? And I think something gets very simplified when we start believing and accepting that each one of us is different, each one of us is unique and special in their own ways. Do we believe in it? Each one of us is unique, special and different in their own ways.
Yes, ma'am.
क्या
Yes.
हम इसमें विश्वास करते हैं अर्चना जी?
Yes, ma'am.
बिल्कुल. अब वही चीज है कि इवन इन अ सिचुएशन सिनेरियो वेयर आई फील कि यस द अदर पर्सन इज एट फॉल्ट एंड आई डिड नॉट डू एनीथिंग, नाउ दैट्स माय पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू. Did we have that patience? Did we have that tolerance to actually give a chance to the other person to justify themselves, to come up with their point of view, ki how come they feel ki what they did was not wrong? You are somewhere assuming it from your side only ki nahi, from my end I feel this is not acceptable, this is absolutely wrong. Did you give a chance to the other person to justify their point of view, or did you have that patience also to listen to the other person's point of view? When we know we are different, each one of us is differences start with difference of opinion, difference of point of view, right? As it is, of course, in fact, even identical twins also would be two different people. Yes, we believe in it.
Yes, ma'am.
Identical twins, similar, physical appeal, similar appearance, similar, what do you say, your expressions and everything, but still they are two different people. its differences are primarily, they start because of differences, thoughts, ideologies, perspective, right? Difference of opinion. So when we want to come along with people, and that too with individuals, with whom as it is we've not got to kind of get to know them much, or whom we as it is feel they're very different from us, then it's all the more need to communicate and communicate, right? But communicate does not mean that where you only are keeping your point of view. Communicating means that primarily, first and foremost, you're listening, you're trying to understand the other person's point of view, and then try to connect the dots. Where is it that yes, we can actually kind of um, have a common share of ideologies, or maybe if somebody is very different from me, where is it that now I need to outgrow in my understanding and start looking at things from a different perspective also, right? Managing relations, now very frankly, some little things which have to be included into our daily lifestyle, right? अब सबसे पहले तो little gestures every time. It's not that you have to really go out of the way, doing some extra things like what buying gifts, or maybe yes, reciprocating in time, in ways of like time or efforts. Some little gestures also do a huge what do you say, huge good, right? Something at the start of the day to cheer up somebody, some to make somebody feel a little more happier, a little more comfortable, little more, yes, taken care of. Compliments and yes, what do you say, uh, thankfulness, gratitude, right? Do we really have the courage to compliment somebody, or to yes, express our gratitude to the other person? It's a very difficult skill. It's a very, very the small hearted people cannot do. They cannot appreciate, or they cannot give a compliment to somebody. Appreciating and being thankful. Do we really show the courage to appreciate and say thank you? Yes. Earlier it was forgiveness. Now I'm asking, do we really show the courage to actually appreciate and say thank you? As I said, people with small hearts cannot do this. It is actually a capability and ability of large hearted people. Why is it always so difficult to appreciate? Jabki all of us are looking for that appreciation, for acknowledgement. It's one way. I appreciate and express my gratitude, but didn't get in return. That's okay, Naveenji. You know what? The best part is you are a good person. You are a large-hearted person. And the other person is different. Maybe that person still has to enhance or has to develop upon that ability to start looking good in people, right? And very frankly, let me ask you, Naveenji, when you say you appreciate and you express your gratitude, how do you feel about it? What is your takeaway? Do you feel bad about it? Do you feel stressed up about it by appreciating or expressing gratitude? आपको बुरा लगता है अगर आप किसी की तारीफ करते हैं, किसी को थैंक यू बोलते हैं? No. You feel a sense of happiness and belongingness, then believe me, this is the best what you're doing. If it is giving you happiness and belongingness, then there can be nothing better than that. It is okay. The other person still needs time. The other person still hasn't developed upon that ability which you have developed. So give them their share of time, right? Maybe one day they would also feel the need. They would also realize that, you have been the person who have always kind of appreciated or always have made them feel special. And sometimes maybe the other person would also feel the need of, yes, doing, kind of giving it back. But then maybe at their own time, because as we are different, we all do not operate with a similar timing or a similar, pace. Right? We all have our different pace of operating. So आपको वो दूसरों को वो वक्त देना पड़ेगा. Maybe वो अभी कहीं और उलझे हुए हैं, या उन्हें वो अभी reality समझ ही नहीं है, ये है जो आपको समझ आ गई है. So that's really okay. लेकिन इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि जो आप जिस तरह से अच्छे हैं, आप वो अच्छा होना छोड़ दें. If you have been good, then please keep up that goodness, keep prospering, keep progressing that goodness, right? उससे आपका कोई लॉस नहीं होने वाला. In fact, you're going to be benefiting only out of it, as you said, that there is a sense of happiness and belongingness, right? अब सबसे ज्यादा कंसर्न ये है कि वर्क स्पेस में जब हम रिलेशंस की बात करते हैं तो सबसे ज्यादा हमारे जो कंस्ट्रेन रिलेशंस होते हैं वो हमारे इमीडिएट सीनियर या इमीडिएट बॉस के साथ होते हैं, खासकर वो लोग जो हमें काम बताते हैं. People who actually kind of delegate work to us, with them only we primarily have the maximum problem of kind of keeping up healthy or positive relations. Why? Why do we have maximum problem with those people only who are somewhere senior to us in position and hierarchy, and they are the ones who kind of delegate work to us? Why do we have a problem with them? Or we do not? Maybe that's my assumption only. Anybody? Do we really find a problem with I know yeah, it's yes, Archana ji, Hanji.
Madam, actually, with immediate boss, we are feeling that they are challenging us. They are identifying our problems. They are
Ji.
they gather evidences so that they sometimes dominate us. That's why we have a problem with our immediate boss.
Right. Okay. So somewhere we feel that they dominate us, right? Archana ji, that's what you said?
Yes.
And why does
Negative
this...
vibes sometimes.
Yeah.
Negative vibes sometimes we get them from them.
Negative vibes we get from them, right?
Yeah.
So now let's try to clarify, right? I am primarily here to give you some clarity, right? Most of the things maybe you know it from before, but kahin na kahin, if there is any aspect which you feel ki now this is where I got a little clarity, or I could kind of rule out my doubts, I think then the session is then only it's somewhere beneficial to you. Now, dominance and negative vibes, from where did you get that? Was that person shouting on you? Was that person what do you say, making you feel harassed or embarrassed, right? Or is it something else? From where do we actually okay, Archana ji, this is nothing personal, and maybe you just said it in a generic context, right? So now wahi baat hai ki maybe with our immediate seniors we get these feelings of being dominated, or maybe sometimes we start receiving those negative vibes also. In fact, let's fix the focus on negative vibes. Now, vibes are something which are reciprocated, right? I get those vibes which I give back, right? Now let me ask you कि आप जिस person को maybe इतना respect नहीं करते हैं, इतना value नहीं करते हैं, or somewhere you feel कि no, this is not the right person, and I am somewhere finding it really hard time working with this person, or maybe at times I even start speaking bad about that person. Oh, wish this person could have been changed, wish somebody gives him some brains, right? So I'm always speaking something wrong about that person. I'm not telling that person on the face, because I cannot do that, because eventually that person happens to be my senior, right? तो मैं वो उनके फेस पे जाके तो नहीं कह सकती हूँ, लेकिन अंदर ही अंदर, मन ही मन में, always I am like thinking or feeling bad about that person. Now when I am not doing good, I am not trying to give those positive vibes, can I expect to receive those positive vibes in return? Will that person be a well-wisher for me then? Will that person be thinking good about me?
Yes, he can.
He can. Okay. Wow. I really like your spirit of, hopefulness, Archana ji. Wow. Why he can when I am not thinking good about that person? Why would he think good about me?
Actually, his feeling is that he, even though he feel bad, means suppress you, dominate you, but in return, if we answered in a very sincere and dedicated way, and we are very determined, so obviously he has to inspire, means he has to follow us. because
Right.
he has to bother about the work only. And if we are doing it very sincerely and very
Right.
determinedly, and in
Right.
time bound work we have done, so
Right.
obviously he might get a good feeling about us.
Okay. um Feeling, now that's what we really need to fix the focus onto feeling. Yes, you are doing your work very dedicatedly, you're very determined in your efforts, and everything is going just the way the senior wanted it to happen, right? But somewhere that feeling comes that you still have some sort of, kind of a reluctance, or some sort of, yes, inhibition, where you are not connecting to that person on an, on an individual level. I'm not saying on a personal level, but on an individual level, right? Jahan pe, where, yes, specifically when we say vibe is a kind of an energy zone, right? हम बहुत सारे लोगों के, environment में automatically we feel uplifted, we feel our spirits getting, motivated, or we feel more, what you said, boosted. But sometimes there'll be people, even if they are very good to us on face, they are very soft spoken, but still with their presence around, we would always feel ki we are being drained in our energy, there is something going really wrong. That's the vibe, right? And vibes travel faster than actions and words. Please, let's note it down. Vibes travel faster than actions and words, and vibes are your real intentions. राइट आप, वही बात है कि अगर आप दूसरे को मतलब, यस, कहीं ना कहीं यू फील कि दैट अदर पर्सन इज ट्राइंग टू डोमिनेट यू, द अदर पर्सन इज नॉट, योर रियल वेल विशर, you would always have that, what do you say, that different vibe. I would not even say negative vibe, a different vibe which does not let you connect to that person on an individual level, राइट? एंड उसके बाद अगर आप जितने मर्जी प्रोएक्टिव हैं इन योर वर्क, योर डेडिकेशन, योर कमिटमेंट, बट समवेयर दैट वाइब गैप would always keep the two people disconnected, right? That vibe gap would always keep the people disconnected. So वही चीज है, I think first and foremost we really need to check upon, am I thinking good about that person, am I a well wisher to the person in front of me, right? If I'm not, if I am thinking bad, if I am thinking against that person, believe me, I can never expect the other person to think in my well-being or be a well-wisher to me. I hope, Archana ji, you are convinced about it.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, you are
Yes.
correct.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So, as I said, vibes travel faster than acts and words, right? What was the root cause of this whole conflict coming up? Just everybody felt the need to join in.
Teasing a girl.
Teasing a girl. So all the girls felt that this was a kind of a direct attack onto their self-respect and dignity. Yes, even if they were not being teased, but then they personally felt ki no, this maybe, this is wrong, and this is which I would not accept it in life, and I cannot let happen this to the other member also, even if I don't share a kind of a compatibility or, that good rapport with the other person, right? It was that common cause which kind of got everybody together. I think specifically in any scenario, whether it's in the professional workspace or even in our personal lives, we have to now fix our focus onto those common causes or bigger objectives which get us along. Most of the times in our daily routines, we kind of, we are hassled, or we are involved into so many things that we kind of get deviated from the bigger objectives. Why are we together? Why is this common project or common, a task assigned to us together, even if we are not kind of, compatible to each other? It's beyond those, personal aspects or personal traits. It's their capability, their talent, their skill set, because of which, yes, people have been put together. So, and then we would be able to switch our focus from just maybe that personal traits towards somebody's skills, capabilities, talents. Then it gets little more easier for us to accept them and to work or operate together in harmony. Coming back to those real scenarios in wild, and I'm concluding it with that only. Why everything operates so well, so organized in a in a hassle free way in the nature? Because each one takes care of the area of responsibility allotted to them according to their capability, their skill set, their their strength areas. And that is what where all living beings, all would focus only on the strength area. But maybe it is only as humans that we would be always more interested in kind of fixing our focus onto somebody's weak areas. That's why when we keep focusing only on the weaknesses, it gets more difficult for us to find good in people around. Then it gets all the more difficult to appreciate or to compliment or to say thank you to people. But then believe me, that's what actually makes you a real human, where you can shift your perspective, right? As wild beings, we cannot shift our perspective because we are not that intelligent, we are not that thoughtful. लेकिन आज अगर आपको एक कहीं ना कहीं वो एक पर्सपेक्टिव, वो एक पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू मिला है कि आज से पहले अगर आप सिर्फ लोगों में उनकी गलतियां ढूंढ रहे थे, सिर्फ उनमें उनके वीक एरियाज देख रहे थे, at least now if we could switch our focus from those weak areas to some amount of goodness, some amount of strength. Now, believe me, where we accepted that each one of us is different, I think it's now the time to accept that each one of us is even blessed. Each one of us has certain amount of capability and strength also. I think there's no denial to it. हम में से हर किसी का कुछ ना कुछ strength area, कुछ ना कुछ capability and skill set है.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So now can we start switching our focus onto only that good areas, that strength areas, which specifically makes them more capable, more kind of fit into that kind of job assignment or the role that they've been assigned to them, right? And that's how we can uplift each other. We can actually kind of grow together, where we start. Even sometimes people forget about their what do you say, their capabilities. So as a good associate, a good person in as a work companion, or maybe in personal lives also, when we start reminding each other about their strengths, about their capabilities, then is where we start actually kind of coming together and collaborating in flourishing relations. So it's only the shift of perspective, and then it's easier for us even to forgive people. अगर उन्होंने गलतियां की भी हैं, लेकिन आज अगर जब हमें उनका अच्छा साइड दिखता है, when we are able to see the brighter side of people beyond their mistakes, beyond yes they're not being able to fulfill your expectations, then it is easier, it is simpler for us to forgive. So I believe I wanted to give some real solutions only. Now it's up to you, how much are you able to actually apply it in your real lives. That's all from my side. Any questions, anything which was unanswered, or maybe we could not connect with, or maybe we need a better understanding, I'm here to take up all your questions.